equipment last that long?
So,
or is it better yet? Is it warranted for that long?
30-year warranties.
So, and that includes anything in the product itself. So, if the solar panels, stop working or they don't chart, if they're not, I know one of the things is degradation, right? So, if they don't perform at what they did when they installed, there's a certain percentage there that you expect, and then anything below that,
then it should be a warranty issue. Yeah. So with power, like I mentioned, they provide a great platform, right? So all of our customers get their own app, right? They log into their app, and they'll be able to monitor right on their app what their system's producing, how it's producing, how it's functioning. If not, they're going to hit that little customer question, the button there, and they're going to reach out to customer service. Whether it be live chat. I use a live chat all the time. Yeah. For customer service when I have questions on certain things with projects that I'm got going on. But our customers get their own app that they can log into and monitor their system. So if they got panel over there in that corner that's not functioning and it's reading super low, right, for some odd reason, then they reach out to customer service and get somebody out there to take a look at it.
So there is there any type of, there's live monitoring through the customer app, but is there a system in place for, let's say, because I don't want to be looking at this all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
of course,
is there something that says, power reaches out to me and says, hey, we noticed that you're not producing the amount of electricity that you were. Is there anything like that yet? Mm-mm. So
that would be,
I think eventually over time,
level,
that's what, people are just so hands off, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I think at some point it's got to be that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and not just with power, I think with a lot of things.
In general.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, it is a fair statement to say that you have got solar on people's houses with nothing out of their pocket and cutting their electricity bill. Truly nothing out of their pocket.
That's a true statement, man.
That's awesome, man.
That's and that's as real as it gets.
With a typical, if there is such a thing, a typical install, is it a hybrid of power from the provider and power from your system? How many completely off of the grid systems do you install?
Yeah, it's illegal to go off the grid completely. Unless you're like in the Appalachian Mountains or something, right? Okay. Like making moonshine or something, right? But you can get pretty close to off the grid to a scenario where you're not having to pay anything. But your system does shoot back to the grid. You are plugged into them. If the grid is down and you don't have battery backup, you're down.
Right.
That is a common misconception. The panel itself does not really store anything.
Right.
There's an inverter. The panel captures it, goes through the inverter, sends it back to the grid. Mm-hmm. But if the grid is down, there's nothing to capture and invert. Yeah, it's not pulling, right? That's where the battery backups come in. Mm-hmm. So a lot of folks are using batteries.
Can you power your house with, if there was an outage, could you power your house in the sun without batteries?
Oh, without batteries, no.
So
if the grid is down, you're down without a battery.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. If the grid is down,
unless you have batteries.
That's your backup, your battery backup. Yeah.